These trees behind us are the subject of today's video. So we have these 4 Arizona cottonwood trees that grew up from volunteers, and they were here when we bought the house. And as you can see, they're going to start blocking our view, and we want to open up this view and so we can enjoy it from the house more and not have huge trees here. We really like cottonwood trees. There's mixed feelings on cottonwood trees, but we feel they're established and really nice trees when they get big. We're going to move them down to our wash pasture area and plant them in a spot where they'll provide more shade in the coming future. We're going to use a family member's tractor that we borrowed, and that's going to help us immensely with this project. We figure this is the perfect time of year to do it, or this is the best time we'll get this year. It's mid-February now, and the days feel like they're just getting warmer and warmer. And these trees only pretty much went half dormant here, so we're going to try our best to replant them and get them in the new dirt before the spring growing season here coming up next month. First step we need to do is prune the trees on the top, because as we pull the roots up out of the ground, we're going to need to prune. We're going to be pruning, cutting back roots on the bottom. So you want to prune an equal amount on the top that you do on the bottom. After we do that, we need to prep the 4 holes that these trees are going to go into. And then also one more hole for this, our pine Christmas tree behind us. We're going to plant that too. Step 3 is run the water, how we're going to get water to them. Step 4, we're going to use the tractor to remove the trees up here, try to capture as much root ball as we can. Transport the trees down there to the pasture. Step 5, create the water rings to capture the water. Hopefully they take off from there. Hopefully they grow.
Yeah, I think if we give them enough water, they should be okay.
Yeah, and this is also going to be a learning curve for us. This is the first time we've tried to replant a tree, or multiple trees now. Right. But we do feel that these trees need to go as they will block the view as they get very large.
Should we get going?
Let's get going. Water around the root area. So step 3 here, we're going to hook up the water, connect the watering system to all the holes. We're going to run everything off this spigot here and this orbit. It has 2 zones. So one zone is going to cover that side, the other zone is going to cover that side, about 4 trees per zone. And this is going to be a really temporary water before we decide to bury in some permanent water fixtures down here. But for now, we're just going to use this poly tubing, black sprinkler tubing. This stuff is 5/8 inch, and we have 200-foot roll of it here. And we're going to run a series of T's, and out of each top of the T here will be a line off to the tree to get watered. We're going to have shut-off valves on and off, and little sprinkler heads. Eventually, we're going to transition over into normal PVC, and then put a sprinkler head on the end of the normal PVC line. We're going to be cutting the PVC pipe and the poly tubing with this PVC cutter here. These things work with a ratchet. This one's from Cobalt. I think it's from Lowe's. And you just ratchet it down over the pipe until it creates a nice cut on it. So it should be pretty straightforward. So we'll show you what it looks like when it's all done. The water's running right now from this spigot. We set up both of these tubes. I'm only going to walk down the new tube we did here. Down this black poly tube. And into our new tree wells. Here's one. You can see the well is already starting to fill in with some water there after running about 3 minutes. The poly tube keeps going this way into those 4 tree wells that we just dug. And before we put the trees in there, I'm having the water run in there to soften up the ground for the roots. But as you can see, they're watering right now with this little sprinkler head. And that goes the same all the way down the wash line there for those 4 new cottonwoods. Hopefully they like it.
So something you need to be aware of when you're building these water channels around your tree is to make sure they are level, or else you get these pockets of water just like this that Ben is filling in, because you want the water to be able to go fully around the entire tree. You don't want any stagnant water. We turned on the water and we're just making sure, going to each tree, making sure it's working well. Making use of our wood chips. Wood chips are multi-purpose. Yeah, these are from our trees. Because we did a lot of trimming, believe it or not. These trees were in worse shape.
So what do you think? How'd the project go?
Project was good. I think we learned a thing or two along the way.
For the most part of what I was thinking, all the watering went really well. The trees came up really well with the help of that tractor. I think they're going to go through a big shock. They may not even make it, but everything we've read online has said cottonwoods are pretty hardy trees, especially here in Arizona, as they're somewhat of a native tree.
Yeah.
So hopefully we're just hoping for the best, and we've got the water running to them right now for the next 2 hours to really soak down that soil.
So a lot of the inspiration on how to transplant this tree, as well as just how to replant a tree, in general, comes from Edge of Nowhere Farm. They're up in Whitman, Arizona, and we watch a lot of their videos. It's nice to watch people who are in the same climate as you, because if we were in Washington, it'd be a lot different the way that we do things.
And the trees look really good right now, but they might struggle for survival coming up. We'll see how they go, but we'll give you updates along the way, either way. And we'll see if our efforts were a failure or a success. If you liked what you saw, please hit that like button. If you like this kind of content, hit subscribe. We come out with it quite a bit.
Let us know if you'd like to see anything in particular, or if you have any questions. We like to respond. We do. So, yeah. And share this video with anyone that you know that's doing the same thing. Well, thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.
Do it again.